Hello and welcome. Today I'll be reacting to another video. Today will be the Belgium trailer for the new Hearts of Iron 4 DLC. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and of course let's get right to it.
I'm Peter Nicholson, Game Director for Hearts of Iron. Welcome to the country showcase for Belgium. After the Great War, Belgium's economy was still recovering, and the fields of Flanders remained scarred by trenches. To avoid another war, Belgium adopted a policy of neutrality, annulling alliances with Britain and France, which surprised both nations, as they'd previously fought to protect Belgium.
Yeah, it was, in hindsight, it was a bad idea, but either way the Germans were coming.
Despite rising tensions with Germany, the Belgian government resisted increasing military spending without a public declaration of neutrality from the Crown, hoping to stay out of foreign conflicts. Meanwhile, fascist agitation over government corruption could have led to the democratic government's resignation, allowing any ideology to take power through political maneuvering.
Best part, political tree, let's see. Leon de Grauw?
The historical branch focuses on
Yes.
stabilizing Belgium.
There he is, right here, this little fucker. So we have the Raxists and the Dutch. So basically Belgium or Flanders.
After the turmoil in its democratic government, it starts with implementing Henri Demann's economic policies, known as the Plan Demann, which eases the economic downturn and leads to economic recovery, provided you adopt the Dial Plan. The Dial Plan, despite Belgium's public neutrality, was a military strategy that involved resisting Germany at the Dial River to allow Allied troops time to assist in its defense. In-game, this increases the chances of Allied support in Belgium's defense. Following this, Paul-Henri Spaak rises to leadership, one of Belgium's most influential politicians. Spaak's leadership is tested by the Adriaan Martens crisis, which historically forced his resignation. However, you can choose to keep Spaak and potentially call the Council of Europe, eventually forming the European Union. If you prefer to follow history, Hubert Pialot takes over as Prime Minister during World War II, leading the Belgian government in exile in London. If Belgium doesn't get invaded and thus stays out of the war, Pialot can abandon neutrality and join a faction.
Okay, let's see the monarchy.
If the worst happens, and Belgium is invaded, some of the blame will fall on the king's shoulder. How he's treated by the government in exile will determine whether he falls by the wayside or becomes a figure around whom to rally resistance. Historically, the king was declared unfit to reign, and resistance efforts centralized around the government in exile, operating out of London. This path is all about
Okay, let's see. King's Lion Freedom, King of Belgium.
gaining support from allies and using the resources in Congo to fight back and reclaim Belgium. The prisoner king is a very plausible alternative path, and the real exiles agonized about how best to mount the resistance. In this scenario, the king plays on his status as a prisoner in his own nation, using his influence to solidify Belgian resistance and begin a monarchist resurgence.
That would be my path. Let's see de Grauw.
Once de Grauw takes power as Prime Minister, he'll have to decide which fascist faction to support, though his position remains secure regardless. He's not one to give up power easily. This choice is more about whose ambitions he backs, as the fascists are still a minority in Belgium. There were two major factions at the time, and each has a broad set of goals they want to achieve.
Okay, let's see. The VNV, the Dutch, or Flemish, and the Francophones, or the Walloons. The Lost Tribe, Belgica, Burgundy.
The Raxists represent the fascist nationalist approach, focused on strengthening Belgium itself. Historically, they were Germany's main collaborators during the war, and aligning with fascist Germany offers significant benefits.
Okay.
To solidify this path, de Grauw will need to consolidate his internal support within Belgium. The VNV follow the fascist expansionist path. They were Flemish nationalists and aimed to expand Belgium by uniting with their Dutch-speaking neighbours to the north, then reviving the old nation of Burgundy. If you're ambitious enough, you can even go after parts of France to recreate the Roman province of Belgica. In addition to these two distinct paths, the shared focus tree allows fascist Belgium to pursue a range of options. This includes peacefully uniting with Luxembourg, abandoning neutrality to join factions, or attack other nations, and using various strategies to consolidate power and enhance the strength of the state.
Okay. Constitutional
De
process.
Grelle rises to power, but Hubert Pirlo, fearing for Belgium's democratic traditions, invokes Parliament's protections, declaring the king temporarily unfit to reign before he can sign the royal assent, effectively voiding de Grelle's appointment. Pirlo then calls for a snap election, leading to King Leopold's abdication and his brother Charles, Count of Flanders, becoming the royal regent. The election is now a contest between the Liberals, led by Pirlo, and the Socialists, led by Spaak. Belgium then faces a critical decision: align with the Allies for protection, or consider an alliance with the Soviets. On the home front,
Now I see the European project, so we can form the EU.
combining
That's
this
nice.
path with a defensive branch can result in some truly formidable fortifications.
Now the Reds. Let's
Going down the
see.
other path after that initial election, choosing the Van der Velde minority sets Belgium on the path of socialism. At the time, there was very little actual support for communism, with even the trade unions being quite weak. This was because
that was
many large
nice.
companies were already very socially aware and progressive for their time.
Okay, that's
As such,
wonderful.
in-game,
Unlike the rest of
Belgium will
Europe.
generally prefer to remain democratic, though there are ways of going communist further down. This branch is less about radical shifts in policy and more about their diplomatic outlook. Belgium has the potential to provide significant support for the Spanish Republicans. Similarly, socialist attitudes in Congo were quite paternalistic, providing an unusual combination of imperialism with socialist values. Finally, a socialist Belgium can send peacekeeping volunteer forces without turning their back on neutrality. Ultimately, though, lines in the sand must be drawn, and socialist Belgium can turn to the Soviets with raise the red flag, flipping them communist, or forming the European Union.
Okay, the European Union. Okay, that's the wrong one. We expand social ideas in the Congo. Okay, so basically they will get claims on the conquered region, so parts of Angola, Britain, and French Africa.
After Belgium declares itself independent, neutral, and loyal, you'll unlock the defensive branch, focused on fortifications and military resilience. Investing in the redoubt of Antwerp will create formidable defences, while Belgian gates and the Iron Wall amplify their effectiveness. As tensions rise, Belgium can take advantage of its lowland terrain with unconventional tactics, not just relying on firepower. Belgium also has a number of military-industrial organizations, like FN Herstal, which excels in small arms production. You'll be able to harness Belgium's industrial strength, with their army historically able to field up to 600,000 troops, equipped with high-quality infantry equipment and artillery.
And they know that part, so Belgium, it's a small power then. Like a secondary power, but packs a big punch.
As for special forces,
good for you, Belgium.
Belgium benefits from modifiers tied to the Chasseurs Ardennais and training integration with the British SAS, giving their forces unique battlefield advantages. Belgium's focus on education through the Royal Military Academy will also boost your military capabilities. Although you'll begin with an underdeveloped air force and no navy, you can eventually create a fleet from scratch. Antwerp's naval production capacity is a key asset here, allowing Belgium to develop its navy quickly once the right focuses are completed. On the economic front, Belgium starts with a very weak economy but has significant scaling potential. Several focuses help establish new factories and maximize their efficiency. Your industry, particularly companies like Cockerill, can be expanded, giving you strong industrial output, especially in areas like shipbuilding and machinery. Finally, Belgium's diplomatic strengths allow it to gain advantages in the world market, particularly in trading for resources, making it easier to maintain production without overextending your civilian factories. We're excited for you to try out Belgium in Götterdämmerung and explore all the new possibilities in the defensive branch and beyond. Stay tuned for an upcoming video where we'll dive into the Congolese
Nice, Belgium, Congo.
situation.
I'm sorry. Now I have only 2 questions. Not this.
Particularly in your civilian. Belgium's
Right here. This, so what, do both of us can do this focus tree, both as Belgium and the Congo? Or is this like it benefits both of us? This to have this icon, because if both of us can do it, so imagine like multiplayer. One guy is Belgium, another one is the Congo, each doing their focuses, helping each other out. That would be nice. And of course, right here, the Belgian Congo. Hopefully, next we can see like French Equatorial Africa, French West Africa, like to separate since they were separate entities. Also, the mandate of Syria, Indochina, to get more flavored or more options, especially in Africa and in Asia. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Pardon me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now, have a good one.